We're on. No more of that talk.
Yes,
Let's
no
get on
more
with
of
the
that.
comics.
Come on in, folks. We're glad you're here. We wonder where Rex is, but that's okay. Rex, if you didn't get up early enough this morning, that's fine.
Sorry,
He's
still
eating
working out his
Cheetos in the
delay.
back room.
He's what?
He's working out his delay.
He's working on his delay.
Yeah,
He's
he
actually-
tried to join
he's
5 minutes ago.
He's actually talking. Yeah, he's actually talking now, but he's not come through yet. It's got to go via Mars.
There we are. Probably. Arkansas is such a long ways away. Anyway, we're glad you're here, everybody. Come on in. I'm just fixing my Facebook before I forget again. Here we are. Come on in. It's time for Comics by
apparently
Night.
Facebook is being fixed now.
Facebook. They all need to be fixed. They all need to be fixed. We'll see on Monday if TikTok is fixed. Anyway, Sunday
The view's
over
going to
here.
be fixed.
And what is it? An Iceland or is it Greenland? What else was it?
Greenland. Greenland. Yeah. Then we'll go down and visit Pedro in Panama.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 53rd state.
Yeah. That ought to be like the 60th state at this rate.
Well, we're the 51st, or we used to be.
Yeah. No, we're just an
Not
aircraft
now.
carrier. We're just an aircraft carrier.
We're an aircraft carrier. We don't even do that properly anymore.
I have faith that you will be again.
I have faith we will. Tell you what, Karen and I have been watching. Is it the SAS thing? It's I don't know if you know about it, Glenn. They did a series about how the SAS came into being. Obviously dramatized and what have you, but it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You should give it a watch.
Oh,
It's
what's
very
it
good.
called? SAS.
I can't remember exactly what it's called. I'll find out for you. It's very good. It's on the iPlayer.
Right.
Have a guy with really, really tall hair go, I don't want to say it's aliens, but it was aliens.
Oh, dear.
Come on in, folks. Times for Comics by Night. We got a great book to look at. Another fantastic book, actually. We're going to run the opening and we'll get stuff underway. I'm going to make a new opening here soon. Here we go.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with you.
Anyway.
That dog.
Hey, can we pet that dog?
Dog. With a W.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly right. Folks, glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, whatever platform you're watching us on. We deeply appreciate your eyes on this. We always show off some great comics every week, and this one is absolutely no exception. It's a beautiful book. So come on in. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at Arrow Comics, all over the web. The latest book is The Atlantean One that I wrote, that Russ Leach did the artwork for, that we're especially proud of. It's the continuation of The Shadow Kingdom by Robert E. Howard. It's got Cull and Brule as they go off looking for shape-shifting lizard people. And it's a very fun ride. And it's a great series that we've started, and we've been getting a lot of good, positive reviews on it. We hope you get a chance to see it. They're great, and a great logo by Mr. Glenn Fleming.
Yeah, that fella below's messed about with it.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. There we are. Also joining us this morning, Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, please introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. Sometimes I draw logos that people mess about with. I've written 12 books. They're all on Amazon, but relevant to this show is this book about my visits to see the late, great Jack Kirby at his home in 1988 1991. I also draw things on fundmycomic.com. You'll be able to get a copy of my Hatchet character. This is a book that tells you all about his story and how he came to being. It's got lots of artwork in it, unpublished, and all kinds of stuff in there. So check that out. That's Hatch annotated. And occasionally, I publish magazines about comics. This is Comics Unlimited. Issue 15 is in process now, and you can get all these on Amazon. So check it out.
The interview with the fantastic Joe Staten right there.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
And he did actually the artwork for us for the cover.
Yeah. It's Dick Tracy silhouette. Excellent.
Yep.
There you are.
Woohoo!
Also joining us this morning, Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, please introduce yourself.
Hi there, my name's Russ Leach. I'm an illustrator, comic book artist from the UK. And sometimes I mess with other people's logos, but I always ensure their integrity. You can find out
integrity via check.
integrity via payment. You can find out more about my work on the Atlantean specifically, but whether it's Only Death Could Save Us, the stuff I've done for other people, we don't need to talk about them, or the Shadow Kingdom, all of those things you can go get on Critical Blast website, because we make a little bit more money there than on Amazon. But you can get it at Amazon if you want to go get it there, because obviously the postage is good if you've got Amazon Prime. But this isn't an advert for that. This is an advert for us. So find out all about that stuff, all about the Atlantean, and issue 2 is on its way at russleach.com. Sign up for the email list there so that I can keep you up to date with that information. I have to say, issue 1 was a blast. Really good fun. We're getting great reviews for it. Issue 2 is gone up. The art is better. I've definitely improved from issue 1, although I was very pleased with how issue 1 came out, and the story's a real gangbuster. So you're going to want to see this. That comes out, the crowdfunder for that over at Fund My Comic on 1st of March. It'll be printed in April, and then it will be over on retail after that. But you want your crowdfunded copy, go to Fund My Comic in March, 1st of March. But you can find out, like I said, all about that by going to russleach.com and signing up for the email list.
Right. And we plan on doing a Atlantean about every 3 months or so.
4.
This year. 4, every 4 months or so.
3 a year. We're going for 3 a year.
3 a year. 3 a year.
3 a year, 50 pages, black and white, beautiful painted front cover. Both issue 1 and issue 2 have made a bit of a splash as far as the front covers are concerned. Fantastic artwork. And I've just found myself an artist for issue 3, I think, who does some wonderful digital oil paintings. So as ever, they'll be over my pencils. I do the pencils for the front cover, and I get an artist in to do the rendering, the really hard stuff over the top. I think I found myself a fantastic artist to do that. So what we'll try and do is cycle through artists. I'd like to see lots of different artists on the front cover. Something that we will be doing is keeping a story element to the front cover. I've had comments about that saying, even though we've gone for that painted look on the front cover, it isn't just someone standing there looking great or just for the sake of it slashing someone's head off and going, "Yar!" It's like, no, it tells a little bit of the story. It's emblematic of the story that we have in the book, and people like that about comics, the old way of doing comics. So yeah, that'll continue.
Excellent. Here we are, folks, the Incal, or Incal, Jodowosky and Moebus, Incal 1. The Adventures of John DeFool. Wiping out my name here. There we go. Published back in the 80s. The Great Moebus. Written by Jodowosky. We went through book 1 last time. We're about 2/3 of the way through Incal 1. Let's see here. Past the egg and the spider. The great little pterodactyl bird there. This is where we left off.
I think
Is it a bit further than this?
Was it further?
A little
I
further.
remember the crab guy.
I thought I had it.
Yeah, I remember the crap. I think I might have been very close to here.
think it was here. No,
Yeah.
we ended at the crab guy. Yeah,
Crab guy. Yeah.
my bookmark has since fallen out, but I think we got it here.
Is he getting eaten by the crab guy? Oh no. Is this more drugs?
It's all
hope
more
so.
drugs.
I hope so. He's got that dodgy thong on again.
Yeah, and some little funny
Yeah.
monsters strapped into it
Yeah. Oh dear.
next
Little
to
sluggy
these
there.
nuts.
No.
No.
We were saying, weren't we, about this style is it's not as
Enema.
detailed as the previous one. What we were saying about this style of it.
Not quite as liney as ours, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just as crazy
It's
and
on and
mad.
off. Sometimes it looks like he gets lost in something.
Deadlines.
And he just can't.
Drugs.
He just can't help himself but make
Yeah.
something detailed. You know, like there's odd little bits where he's obviously enjoying the panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, the rest of it is lighter touch.
Very much art. Does have a little beast there in his face.
Yeah.
A little monster in his pants. Yeah.
A monster
there
in his
now, though.
pants.
Got a monster in my pants.
Sure, it's a metaphor for something, but not quite sure what.
Check out my monster.
Little flower opened up.
So he didn't get eaten.
Help me, I'm yours. Yeah. Looks like you got spat at.
Oh, has it just whacked it and that's the end of it? Oh,
He's just shot it with his eyes into its mouth.
oh no.
He's got rays coming out of his eyes.
It's, what's he called? Cyclops.
This is freaky.
Dark Incal is lost.
This whole book is whack.
It's crazy.
As far as the story is concerned, it's absolutely whack. It's completely bonkers.
It's one of those stream of consciousness strips, I believe.
I'm not sure whether it's an advert to take drugs or not to take drugs.
Yeah, I think I can do without these drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Defoe.
Look at him at the top there. What a hump. This colouring's a bit this colouring's a bit muddy again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And look at the bottom, the fire at the bottom of the page there, the long panel. It's sort of lost, isn't it? It's too brown.
It is. Especially with the background here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See a lot of Dave Gibbons in this. Look at those, that trail of smoke, or whatever is across that fire. Those long trails. Yeah, that's very Dave Gibbons in Watchmen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not there's anything wrong with that, folks.
Good and clean.
Nothing. No.
If you're drawing like Moebius or Dave Gibbons, you're doing all right.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that panel there on the second page, the last panel. There's a lot going on in that, obviously, with the detail, but you can't see it because of all the muddy colours.
Yeah, it's all brown. Browns down here. You can hardly see the detail, but it's beautifully detailed.
Yeah.
Makes John stand out, though.
It does, yeah. Pasty guy.
Yep. Your typical nerd type character.
John Defoe.
John Defoe.
Oh, she's turned into an Egyptian goddess on that second panel. Wow. Little pyramid.
There's a few pyramids in here. Kind of a floating Star of David, too, coming up. Oops, come back. Tripping in the snow.
Come back. Do you know, I do like the space in the word balloons around the letters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not jammed in. The lettering's not jammed in those little boxes.
It's a translation. Yeah. Originally in French.
Yep.
Return appearance by Lex Luthor. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just saying about the Dave Gibbons thing. That swirling snow reminds me of the end of Watchmen.
Oh yeah, it sure does. Yep.
It's very nice though. And then there's Lex with a sore ear.
Yeah.
He's a metabaron.
Yeah, probably a metabaron. Rex. Oh, Halder. Nice to see you. Hey, Devil Flyer Momentum. Devil Flyer was there earlier. Halder's in the house now. We're not sure where Rex is. He might not have gotten up this morning after making his connections. HR has a lot of icons for us this morning. Glad you're here, HR.
Hello.
Look at that great explosion there.
Grow boom.
Grow boom. Go boom.
I like those word balloons with the tails trailing over the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Here as well.
Yeah.
Is International Rescue going to turn up?
Yeah.
Because what's his face on the left there looks a bit
like the Hood.
The Hood, yeah. Get on, oh, where are you? There, Daddy.
You can't even tell the little electrode on the bottom lip either.
Oh yeah. It's a bit chunky, isn't it?
Yeah. There, the camera adds 10 pounds.
Onward.
It's a great shot. Wish you could see it all in black and white. All that detail is just lost in the brown there. Launch the suction lines. Take that panel and put it in a museum. Right there.
I think I said last week, I don't like characters with dogs' heads and
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Anthropomorphic.
Yeah. Anthropomorphic.
Exactly right. Anthropomorphic. Yeah.
I don't like that.
They go back to the ancient Egyptian gods.
Yeah, I don't think that people walking around like that. I think they were symbols.
Oh, look at
but anyway.
Yeah. It's all, they were masks.
Yeah. Got that. Great shot.
Isn't it? Just fantastic stuff. That's why we love looking at this stuff, folks. It's just greatness, one page after the next.
Oh, look at, wow, yeah.
That's like James Bond, isn't it? You only live twice when they come into the volcano at the end.
Yeah.
I love the worm's eye view shot of the first panel. It's just
I love looking up through the hole into
Brilliant.
what's going on above. Yeah, it's bonkers. That's what I was talking about. Whenever I talk about planning sequential art and not having 3D models or pictures or whatever, that's that image there, that first panel, that says it all. Because where are you going to find anything to trace for that?
Yeah, exactly.
And as far as 3D, how are 3D models going to help you? I suppose potentially you could get a 3D model for the guy closest to you, for the anatomy, and maybe twist that. But even then, what you're doing is you're having to do all of that to an idea that you have in your head. You don't start off with the tools first. You start off with the idea. Moebius had in his head while he was doing this, he went to draw this panel and went, I know what I can do with this panel. I've got a worm's eye view with all these people. They're looking straight up. There's a massive hole in the ceiling. And then there's the whatever it is beyond. You don't get that by playing about with the tools.
No.
That comes straight out of his imagination
Well,
and his
that's why
skill sets for sequential art.
that's why I always do roughs first
Mhm.
and work all that out, all the camera angles and the flow of the
Yeah.
story.
But
You know.
yes, of course, yeah. But what I mean is just it's the even before that, the essence of that view is in his head.
Mhm.
It's not being directed by what assets do I have to play about with to make this panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything mechanical. This is all in his head. He is envisaging. I can't say that word. I can't say
Envisioning.
sausages either. But you know,
That's okay.
he's got that. He's building that image in his head before he goes anywhere near a piece of paper
Oh yeah.
or
Yeah.
a screen or a 3D app or whatever it might be. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the tools. Just don't let the tools drive the creative process. The creative process must come from you, not from what your tools can do for you.
Yep. That's not what your tools can do for you.
Ask
Yeah,
what you can do for your tools, which is pretty much what Keir Starmer said, isn't it? I don't,
Oh,
And looking
didn't he
at
say his
that,
dad was a tool maker?
something
Yeah.
like
looking at
He
this
made a
panel,
tool there, didn't he? Eh?
for me, you can see how he used colors to separate all of the
Mm.
fields, foreground,
Yeah,
midground,
lovely.
background.
Yeah, really nice there. So he didn't shade it with his inks. Again, another thing that Glenn is very close to here is that understanding of color and painting, rather than your inks being colored by someone else.
Yeah.
Or even if they are colored by someone else, your understanding of how the color can change what you're doing. And how it's seen, and that's it. Whether he coloured this or not, it's a complete understanding there.
Yeah.
He knows he doesn't need to add lots of ink to
Yeah.
make shadows.
You're dead right. And it's the same with inking. People think the ink is just trace, and they don't. You've got
No.
to be an artist to do
Well,
all three.
they didn't. And I'm not saying this for all inkers, but I do see a lot of examples of inking on YouTube where literally they're just going over the pencils.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't
Yeah.
do that. You should be putting your art. It's like we've said
Yeah.
before. Well, I'll say this. I certainly can tell most inkers on Kirby's work. I can tell whether it's Giacoya, Sinner, and all that. And I know you guys can.
Yeah.
Because we can still, and that's the essence of the inker, to put a style on it, but not to stop the pencils coming through.
Yeah. Well, that's an embellisher rather than an inker, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And this is not to put any inkers out there down whatsoever, because this is a trend that's happened over a long period of time,
Except for
where
Vinny.
arsehole pencilers like me have been so uptight about their pencils that they've created more and more detailed pencils. And it doesn't actually allow for an embellisher or an inker, whatever you want to call them, to find much in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can find their own way of throwing down a line, yes. But when you've got a restrictive process whereby the editorial has seen the pencils and they don't want it to change much, they just want the ink over the top of it, it's hard for an inker to establish their own style. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's become difficult for inkers. So this isn't me attacking inkers and saying, oh, all you do is trace now. That's not me saying that. What I'm saying is a lot of inkers just don't get the opportunity to show as much of their talent as they actually have, because pencils have now become sort of acceptable to be very, very tight. So it's difficult to find yourself as an inker now. And so you're getting to a point where lots of people do their own inking. So it's just a difficult situation, but definitely I where we came from there, 100% agree. It's like it's having that understanding of how everything's put together.
Well, you see, this is why I like to do the whole thing, and pencil, ink, and color, because when I'm drawing it, when I've got a pencil in hand, that's a different process, different discipline. But I know that I don't need to fill that in black, because I'm going to ink it, and I know I can even leave it out because I'm going to put color in it as well.
Yes, I mean, I've changed my process again for the Atlantean. I'm doing far less pencil work now. It's literally just everybody's just I'm making sure the anatomy is in place.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure that my scene is in place, and then I throw down a quick sort of block shade to show which direction the light's coming from,
Right.
and then it goes on a light box after that, and I let the inking do the job.
Yeah.
And I want to make it simpler. I want to have more confidence that my pencils become even simpler than they are right now, and I can just do it with the inks. Because I think that's what happens is you and we all know this. Every time you have a process, you have a layer in the process. So it's sketch, pencil, ink, color. Every time it gets tighter and tighter, and the looseness and the energy seems to be removed from it.
Yeah.
That's why Ditko inks his own work. Have you ever seen his pencils?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
absolutely, they're absolutely sublime, but there's not a lot of detail in there because he knows he's going to ink it. So that same when Frank Bellamy was doing Garth and things like that, the pencils are really minimal. But if it was going to give it an inker, he probably would have had to put more detail in.
I saw a couple of pages from Rom's Space Knight that Ditko did late in his career, and it was basic shapes piled one on top of the other. It was fascinating to sit there and look at, but the inkers on those were Aiken and Garvey, and they had a very, very unique ink style to an individual look to their stuff. So Ditko was basically layout man on that work. It's the inkers went over top of it and put their own style in it. Not quite as powerful as Tom Palmer, but almost. Palmer, anything Palmer touched, it didn't matter who penciled it. It looked like Tom Palmer.
Yeah, I think you'll find that mostly the European artists usually do complete artwork, like Cam Kennedy and Frank Bellamy and Mike Noble and all these people. They do full artwork, color, pencils to color, and it shows. And some of we covered Frank Bellamy and stuff. We got some British artists to cover as well, and it's just beautiful work because they're involved in the whole process. Whereas in America, it would seem to me, certainly in the 60s and 70s, that you'd get a strong penciler like John Buscema. You can't have John Buscema inking so much because not that he can't do it, but he's good at putting books out like Kirby was. Kirby's a good inker. Kirby's a good inker, but he was wasted inking, if you see what I mean, because he could put out another book rather than ink. You get somebody else to do that.
This panel here, this membrane, reminds me of Miyazaki's Nausicaa a lot.
Oh, I don't know.
So they were kind of trading off influences at this point.
Right.
Very, very similar type thing. Nausicaa is a great story about a girl in an environmentally challenged world, and they had these large bugs and all sorts of little odd membranes and plant growths and stuff that they were dealing with.
Just before you turn, said this before as well. Moebius, like people like Ditko, have a great sense of weight. Because look at those guys hanging; they really look like they're hanging because of the weight of them.
Yeah,
and he does good people flying, doesn't he? Floating in like that little pterodactyl guy. He looks as if he's flying.
Yes,
and when he does little spaceships, little sort of cruisers type of thing that 3 or 4 people in, they look like they're flying because of the weight.
Yeah. That's what I was saying to Rex last time. Is like, as he was questioning, do you need a strike line, a motion line? And I think depending on the artist as well, often, the really great artists don't necessarily need as much of that stuff.
Yeah. It's like Wood on the Mars Patrol stuff that we looked at on Sunday, where he was drawing whole jet fighters, no motion lines whatsoever, but you can feel them moving.
Simply because of the way that they draw it. I mean, there are a few motion lines in here. If you look over there,
yes, there are.
Panel 3 on the left-hand page, there's a few behind their heels where he's got them effectively wiggling as they come down on the lines. And that's quite clever because they're very simple.
Well, if you look on the second page at the center panel where he's got proper lines on his legs, that's to show us that he really is struggling, isn't it?
Kind of
just hanging there.
And I always used to love the Buscema Conan stuff because there were very few There seem to be very few. Still, I can't remember much in the way of sound effects. And or there must have been, but I can't remember much. And a lot of the time, so for instance, if he like punch someone or stab someone, a lot of it, or stab the beast or whatever, a lot of it would be done by the scream or by the gurgle rather than the sound of the attack.
Yeah, I don't remember
similarly,
any effects in there either.
Yeah, and similarly with the strike lines, with the movement lines, they would be rare, and often they would be at the swing of a sword.
Yeah.
But only at the swing of a... So you wouldn't see them coming off the back of, him running fast or, hitting someone. It would be like this, almost like a flash of a sword. And that restricted use, I thought was brilliant. So,
and you don't necessarily want a big thwack in there.
No, especially in a sword and sorcery story.
Exactly,
it's not quite... Doesn't work, so...
Yeah. HR says R.I.P. David Lynch. Yeah, he passed.
Yeah, David Lynch
passed
Oh,
yesterday.
wow.
Yep. Sorry to see that.
Yeah. 78 he was. His birthday next week.
Oh, yeah.
78. It's not a lot.
I'm nearly 78.
Yeah, you're going to be around for ages, mate.
I hope so.
Complaining about your logos.
Hey, listen, I'm nearer 70. I'm nearer 78 than I am 60.
Well, that's okay. I expect you to be here bitching at me for years to come.
What the hell are you doing with that logo?
Goosetronics, happy to have you here. Awesome graphic novel series for sure. I own all the hardcover Incal books. Yep. We're looking at the Epic Comics trade paperback editions here. This is Good Morning, TGIF. Thanks, Bone. Nice to see you here as well. Thanks for stopping by. Matt Black Gaming's in the house. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Matt Black. Chat's live, folks. We're live this morning. It's the 17th of January. We're looking through some fantastic Moebius work. Look at that city. Look at that little island. Reminds me of Myst.
Yeah.
Right there, the video game, Myst. Old video game, I should say.
Wow.
It's nice.
That guy running along with the hunchback guy, whatever he is. He's not a hunchback, he's got a crazy suit on, but that guy. Fantastic.
Your high affinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remind that guy with the suit. I don't know his name. That guy on the on Doctor Who, the potato head one.
Sontaran. Sontaran.
Yeah. He's one of them.
He's a grape. He's a dried grape.
Yeah.
Speaking of Doctor Who, I think I've seen about 2.5 seconds of the new one, and that was enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. I'm coming out now. I'm coming out and saying I don't like it anymore. Sorry. I know I'm never going to work for the BBC again.
You don't know.
I'm sorry. I just don't like it anymore. It's rubbish.
I saw the show where he transformed, and the minute he took out the Roger Rabbit mallet and smacked the TARDIS on the side and made another TARDIS, I said, "That's it. I'm done."
I have to say, I'm a bit of a purist. I had issues with the series where Jodie Whittaker was in, but when they changed the canon, when they made it so that the Doctor was no longer a Time Lord, and that the first Doctor wasn't the first Doctor, it was like, nope, sorry, I'm switching off. I'm gone. I'm done. This isn't about change. That wasn't about changing and moving forward. That was butchery.
Yeah,
they absolutely butchered the canon. So I wasn't interested.
William Hartnell wasn't the first one then.
No, not now.
And he's not a Time Lord now.
And he's not a Time Lord anymore. No.
What is he?
some strange alien that turned up on
Gallifrey?
the Time Lords planet before
Yeah.
they were Time Lords, just appeared out of nowhere, and a little child and a scientist worked out that the child could regenerate, so she kept killing this child until she worked out how to regenerate, and then stole the regeneration powers, ergo creating the Time Lords. And that first little child is the Doctor.
Right.
Yeah, rubbish. Sorry, go away. Crap.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but it's crap. I don't like it. There's no, like I say, I'm all good with like adapting and moving forward and creating new things and even adapting old things and making good stories. But that just butchered the canon, so I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if it changes, it's got to be better.
Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
change for change's sake for me, and that's what they seem
So
to do in a lot
it
of
wouldn't
things.
matter how good or bad Doctor Who is now. I can't watch it anymore because it's not Doctor Who anymore. It's like saying Star Wars is Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not Doctor Who anymore. It's something else. So I'm afraid I'm not on for the ride. I mean, it's a personal opinion. You know, if you enjoy it, great, do your thing. You know, whatever. But for me, Doctor Who is gone. So there you go.
A lot of the
Same
franchises.
as way as Star Wars is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say most of the franchises have just turned into very bad fanfic anymore.
Yeah,
People doing
and you've got to be
wishful
careful about
lists
saying
and stuff.
fan fiction, because you know
Yeah, 'cause they're
people
not
could say
fans.
that about us, about the Atlantean.
Mhm.
They could say, "Oh, it's
Sure.
just bad fan fiction." The difference with what we're doing in the Atlantean is we're not adhering to canon, but we are respecting that canon. We're respecting the world that Robert E. Howard created and the characters. We're not trying to change those characters in our own image. We're not trying to make those characters for someone else. We're simply telling further stories of what we think Robert E. Howard might have done it and how he might have done it. So that's a true respect to whatever's come before you. You know?
Yeah. Yep. Marv in the house. Thanks for being here, Marv. Good morning. Just knew yesterday that Alan Moore hates the term graphic novel. He said that there's nothing graphic and it's not a novel. It's just an expensive comic. Gotta go. See you Sunday.
I've now come to terms with the fact that I think Alan Moore's a dick. It's just like I said, it's just a personal opinion. But
I think if
I
you've
think
been
he's
following the news the last couple of weeks, I think everybody that gets into that position kind of turns dickish, and you end up finding some egotistical, bizarre behavior comes to the surface.
I find Alan Moore's opinion of comics to be sad and just grumpy. Just like, you know, go away. It's like, you made some great comics. Yeah. You made some absolutely great comics. And I agree with him here. Graphic novel was simply a term that was made to try and make the snobs like comics. It was the only reason that term was created. It was a marketing term. All right.
Try to up, especially here in America, to up sequential art into the realm of literature. As opposed to just kiddie trash. Yeah,
exactly. And Alan Moore is a writer first and a comic writer second, I believe. And I think he's as snobby as everyone else. And as far as I'm concerned, comics sequential art doesn't need to be promoted to the term of graphic novel. It's a perfectly excellent art form all on its own. Mm-hmm. And the things that Alan Moore says, I just think are detrimental to the art form. So there you go. Much as I love a lot of his work.
Yeah, for somebody who doesn't want anything to do with it, he seems to have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Ain't that the way? Yeah. So, yeah.
Goostronic says it was a good marketing term.
It was a good marketing term. It did make a difference, especially in the West and in, you know, well, sort of America and Britain, really. That's where it hit most, because, you know, they were already respected in, you know, sequential art was already very well respected in lots of other places around the world, Europe, Japan.
Yep.
South America. So
So much so. Yep.
no, David Prowse. As far as I'm aware, and this may be just an urban legend, but as far as I was aware, David Prowse thought he was going to be.
You've seen that take before James Earl Jones puts the voice on there, haven't you?
Yeah.
When he says, "Luke, I am your father," and his best Cornish accent, it doesn't work, does it?
You are not on a diplomatic mission. Now, where are the plans?
Yeah.
It's like, no, mate, you were never going to be that voice.
Yes, LOL. Well, if you're going to have your voice dubbed over, you might as well go after the best voice you can find. So
damn straight.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I mean that I think that James Earl's voice is part of the reasons that it was so successful.
Yeah.
absolutely.
You've got to have it in like sort of a top 10 or a top 5 of what made Star Wars the thing that it was.
Yeah.
And his voice has got to be one of those things,
That and breathing in a tin can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real good. More browns, more reds.
Yeah, there's a lot of brown and red in here, isn't there?
Brown.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of brown you need to use.
Although,
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't quite work on those bottom panels, but I do actually like it on that top panel. It's got that kind of control room feel to it, isn't it?
Mhm.
Low light.
It's losing a lot, though, isn't it? It's losing a lot of detail.
Those
That's
tracks.
because we're line junkies.
Liz, what y'all think of about the Valerian movie?
I enjoyed it.
Didn't see it.
But then I am very shallow. I do like special effects and explosions.
I love the property, and a lot of the movie is pretty, but it was horribly miscast and terribly written.
Yeah, you
So,
see, I've not read Valerian.
there we
I was
go.
only vaguely aware that it was a graphic novel when I saw the film.
Oh, it's a series.
I know.
Series,
I'm
yeah.
totally aware of it now, but I wasn't when I saw the film. So I went into the film completely without bias.
Which one did Wallerbridge write?
I don't know.
Don't know.
So that's the one where Harrison Ford dies.
Blade Runner?
No.
The one where Harrison Ford died.
Oh, the Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was she involved in writing that?
Yeah, she wrote it. Yeah, she's destroyed James Bond.
I didn't know she was involved in the Star Wars.
Yeah, she was. The first thing she did was I've not seen it, but she was a voice of one of the little robots, like R2D2 thing.
Oh, that was in the Lando Calrissian, the Han Solo movie.
Right. Well,
Okay.
But she's also written one.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that.
Oh, well,
either.
that makes sense.
And she wrote
Sad.
the Indiana Jones one where they.
Well, I know she completely screwed that up. I'm never watching that film.
And she had an hand in the last James Bond film.
Yeah, I won't watch that film either.
No.
Sorry. I'm gonna upset everybody if they've not seen his film. He dies in the end. Okay. If
He doesn't
he dies,
die. He dies stupidly in the end.
okay, all right. Let's get even out removing all the aspects of how and why he died. Okay, and the stupidity of it. Okay, just the fact James Bond does not die in a James Bond film. Okay, so that last film was not a James Bond film. There you go.
Well, again, like we were talking about with Doctor Who, it's just fan fiction.
It's just it's taking a dump on the characters and the brand or the IP from a very great height.
Yeah, see, I don't see why they have to kill these people. Just bring somebody else in.
Well, they're in
if you want to do
trouble.
James Bond, do James Bond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they're in trouble now, aren't they? They're in trouble because
A bit of a jam, yeah.
Because James Bond for the longest time was kind of very loosely continuity as far as they were the similar characters. You changed the actors, and you knew this was over a 50-year period, so they couldn't be the same person. A bit like Batman in the comics, but you let that go because it was just entertainment. You knew the rough idea of what James Bond was about, and you let it go, and you just let it all wash over you and enjoyed the film. But as soon as they made it this sort of Jason Bourne-esque spy thriller thing instead of James Bond, and don't get me wrong, up until the last film, I thought the films were okay. I enjoyed Daniel Craig, I enjoyed the action, it was good. But it wasn't really James Bond.
No.
Not really. And now that they've killed him off, it's like, well, what do you do now?
Yeah.
What do you do now? Do you pass the mantle, which is what a lot of creatives in the last 10 years have decided it's okay to do, is just take the mantle of, I don't know, Captain America or Spider-Man or Super Person, whatever it might be, 007 James Bond, and just pass it off to another character as if the mantle was what was important. And it's like, no, it's not what's important. What's important is that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. What's important is that James Bond is 007.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not to restrict any other kind of person, any other demographic from being in as a character and being the lead as a character or anything like that. It's just that those characters are what they are, and the reason that people love them is because of what they are, not because of what they're called.
It's the same as,
and it's the same old. So.
It's the same as Nick Fury. They have to. You have to knock his military service back to the Gulf War because he's got to be 40.
Yeah, well, you see,
and I know he's be 100 years old now, but I don't care. Just have him Nick Fury.
Yeah, that's exactly the same as Bond. It's like you've just got to let it. And Batman's perpetually 30. Yeah. It's like, that's fine, okay, make him perpetually 30. But you see, we've got to this point now where it's the loss of. I put it down to one thing. It's the loss of spandex.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you put everybody in zipped up, button up leather and not in a spandex knickers, okay, with a cape, you've lost the magic. You've just lost the magic.
Yeah.
That's a fantasy element that adds to the theme of what they're doing. You know, that they should have learned that a long time ago, because they had runs of like Wonder Woman where Emma peeled her.
Yeah,
and dropped the costume, and they saw the numbers go straight through the floor. Same thing happened with Teen Titans there for a while. They put everybody out of costume, and the sales just dropped like a stone.
I think prior to sort of like the mid 90s, maybe a bit later on, but prior to then, superheroes were fantasy, or they were fantasy adjacent.
Yeah, it was an element. It was a fantasy genre. Yeah.
And I feel now superheroes are more sci-fi adjacent, and they're two different genres.
I don't even
fantasy
think the modern
and science
comics
fiction
are like that, even as much as just they're trying to be overly realistic with just idiots. But
you see, that's
instead of heroes.
But that's very sci-fi. That's very science fiction, isn't it? With science fiction, you often embed in real world science, if you can, just to make it believable, and logic, and things have to work a certain way because science fiction has got the word science in it, so it has that underpinning to it. Whereas fantasy, you can do what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I say beforehand, superheroes were fantasy adjacent, and now I think they're sci-fi adjacent. And that leads into what you're talking about, is like right the way down to just eating pizza a lot, and drinking coffee and talking about their feelings.
Yeah.
Rather than just getting on and hitting the bad guy in the face.
Yep. Little cleaner here.
Wow.
Matt Black says the thing, Russ, if you remember the first Daniel Craig Bond movie, he says in Casino Royale, he tells M that he knows how short 007 lives are, which tells us all Bonds die.
No. All 007s die, not all James Bonds. That's what I'm talking about. 007 is definitely a mantle, and it's a mantle in the canon. 006, 005, 004, he talks about other 00s being killed off, but he's James Bond. The character is not 007. The character is James Bond. And I agree with you. That's an absolute line. It's like
Peter Parker.
It's about the character.
It's Peter Parker's Spider-Man, isn't
exactly.
Everyone is replaced.
Spider-Man is not the character. Peter Parker is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other way round that goes is with Batman and Bruce Wayne. Batman's really the character, not Bruce Wayne. If you
Mhm.
kind of go that psychological route, but the two of them are integral. They must be integral. You can't give the bat. You can temporarily give Batman to someone else within a story, like when they broke his back and stuff like that. That was a great story. Yeah,
Mhm.
but he always comes back, and he is Batman.
Yeah. Captain America's the same way.
Yeah.
You know.
It's who wears the suit now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the mantle, exactly.
Who has the
They're just
shield,
passing
yeah.
the mantle about, and it doesn't work because people don't like it.
Sure doesn't.
Anyway, back to the art.
Oh, they are calling them hunchbacks. I didn't realise. He says,
Yeah.
"Watch out for the hunchbacks! Die!"
What hump?
Yeah, what?
Exactly.
You know I can help you with that hump. What hump?
The president is dead. Oh dear, look at him hanging there.
Yeah, I didn't look at it like that. Makes sense now. Yeah.
Dead. Look at that. He says, "The president dead. Let's rip apart his carcass." Not oh dear. Let's rip him
Okay. Quickly, yum yum.
That's Monday. But anyway.
That guy,
Oh, dear.
the bottom right panel on the left hand page, it's got a little bit of a Tintin kiss curl, or is that
Yeah, he
a
has,
horn
yeah.
in his head?
Yeah.
No, on the right
On the right.
panel.
On the right.
On the right panel.
Over here.
Last panel on the
Left
first page.
page, right panel.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
him. What's that going
Yeah.
on there?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Hergé's Adventures of Tintin.
Isn't
He's
that in
got one
public
of those
domain now?
fins for Yondu. Yeah, the first Tintin story, I think, is in
Mm.
public domain.
Is it? Wow.
Yep.
It's
All it
80
means is you can make
80 years since
T-shirts out of it.
Is it 80 years since he landed on the moon then? It will be, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. More. Is it 30s? 90 years?
That we landed on the moon?
No, that Tintin landed on the moon.
Oh. Yeah, I
Keep on
think it was
reading that
30s or
that
40s.
top left
early
panel
40s.
was bum.
There.
Top left. Bum.
Top left.
Bum.
Bum.
It's bum.
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 BMMM.
Bum.
Bum. Yep.
BMMM.
Now
They
is he-
should be taking the knee, shouldn't they?
What's he doing now? Is he flying or something? What's going on there? Are they bouncing or what? Are they
Yes.
matrixing?
He's turned
Were
into
they-
that.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
turned into that Nova guy.
He's got Nova.
The body.
His brother Bossa.
It does look like Tintin.
Oh,
doesn't
Bossa Nova.
it? Incredible. He's escaping. Hey,
But,
where's the friend? He was beneath the blade a moment ago. There. I've been betrayed. John DeFool's alive. It's like Flash.
He's got a few sort of clear backgrounds on here, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that writing in that background, that's horrible. He does that occasionally, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Sticks
Yeah, he
like
does.
Yeah.
dark colours on a panel, on a text panel.
Again, I think it's the difference in printing too from when it was
Yeah.
originally published. He figured that this would contrast a lot harder, but now that it's printed on nice white slick paper, it blends together.
Yeah,
Way
it doesn't
too
quite
much.
work.
Makes it, I can't even read it. Makes it hard for me to read. The acid lake. Look at that.
Wow. I'm thinking that this got to be the printing, these colours.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine he's.
Remember, this is the 80s. I'd be
Yeah.
interested to see a more modern printing of this to see how it looks. I bet it isn't as garish. That is a great panel, though.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Look at that. All sorts of deep detail. Kill. Already exterminated over 100,000 rebels. Soon there won't be any left alive. Ha ha. Next I'll take care of the Incal, which I feel lurking down below. Ha ha ha. This new body doesn't totally lack sensuality after all. Yeah.
Necroprobe. Oh dear.
This stuff really makes me want to get I'll have to dig up my copies of Yummy Fur and show you Ed the Happy Clown sometime soon. It's a real stream of consciousness strip that goes way out in left field. Gets pretty crazy. I'll have to look it over and see if we can show that on YouTube, because there's some pretty adult parts to it. We might have to run a little warning in front. But yeah, it's crazy like this is. It goes in every direction at once, and there's all sorts of crazy characters running through it after a while.
Wow,
another one of those overlooked classics type stuff. You were saying, Glenn?
That panel, that black and white panel is really good, isn't it? If only they'd coloured the rest of it, or not coloured it, done it like that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Those shadows are great on that wall.
Love that.
Excellent.
Then we get this block of red that you can hardly see anything from, with a big sound in the middle of it.
Look at the opposite there. How fantastic that black and white panel is, and how horrible that red one is that you just pointed out.
Yep. There's a little hint of light blues in there, just enough, and they continue that, that blue shading here.
When is this from? The 70s?
I think it is late 70s. Let me check the actual printing date on this. I know it was done in chapters, so it was done over a long period of time. He'd do he'd do a chapter, and then a month later he'd come back and do the next chapter. It says 82, 83, 88. So the final printing was 88. Right. It was done very early 80s. 82, 80, 83. Ah, look at that.
Looks like a Vulcan bomber.
Yeah.
Flying wing.
What a hard contrast between that, or they're inside and down a, looks like inside a big cavern. They get out in the open, and boom, you have all this beautiful color. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Right there.
There's that pterodactyl guy again.
Yep. Well, he's been there the whole time. You just haven't seen him. Because they, block him over with a single color.
Right. Arzak. A whirlpool.
I love that. Little gleams of light coming off of it. It's really sweet. Incal.
We're doomed.
Pretty much is.
Oh. Don't abandon us.
Yep. Don't abandon us. Wow.
Wow. Come on.
End of book 2. It's actually the end of book 1.
So where's Arzak gone then? Has he gone down there as well?
I think he's flying down into it, yeah. He's traveling with him. Isn't he? I think he is. Yeah. He's flying up there.
So he's not landed on the
Yeah.
craft.
He's there.
Oh, is he there? Right. Is that him?
I think it is.
Right. So he's landed with them. He's gone down with them.
Yeah. It's traveling into the whirlpool.
If you look back from that page, it looks like, apart from the aircraft, it looks like a smiley face. Got a big eye and a smiley thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. One eye here.
Yeah.
Smiley face here. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That leads us into book 2. There's a triangle on the back of that. There's another one here with a different piece of art in it. Incal 2. The cover picks up right where we left off.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Come on.
Reds love the splatter here. You must have colored that and then splattered water up on it or down here, you'd think. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, could have, yeah.
Beautiful stuff. And again, the inking, the shadows here, and then the coloring accenting it.
I see he coloured this. He will have done, won't he?
I would imagine
He'll have coloured that one.
All of that. Graphic. Yeah, I think he's responsible for most of this. I'm not seeing
Is it on the
any
other
other.
page? I think it's on the page before that, I think.
No, that's the editors.
Yeah, it says
Consulting
colours. Got colours.
Yeah,
What's
there we
this
are.
one? What's this one called?
That which
That
is below has colors, credits, and
It's Frazic, and that one is Isabelle Bomini Jaunet. Colours.
yeah,
Right,
that
so
which
he's
is
not,
below is where we're at.
so he's not coloured these.
No, I'm sure he's overseeing it all, though.
I hope so.
Yeah. The consulting colors is Claudine Gerard, David
Yeah.
Siragi. Oh, those consulting editors. Sorry,
Claudine Jerome, that must be his wife, I suppose.
could be. Yeah. Sure, you're right. Chapter 1, The Psycho Rats, book 4. It's a bit hard on the teal there.
Yeah.
There's your.
Again, it's overpowering, isn't it?
Yeah, in places, it certainly is. They lose all that detail here. Beautifully rendered.
There's Isaac. He's not looking too happy, is he?
He looks worried.
So can I see that first illustration again? The full page one. Oh, so cool. That's lovely.
They had to have used that as a cover for Metal Hurlant.
Yeah.
That this was
Lovely
serialized.
colouring.
Yeah. Fantastic. Like I said, I just love the splatter work here.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Damn it. Matt sussed us out.
Just move it over a bit, Randy.
Yep, sorry. Oh, earthquake. So I've come to the conclusion that all comic artists are secret mass murderers carrying out their fantasies. Well, okay.
Yeah,
well.
Some of us are mass murderers and some of us are darker than that.
And some of us are Matt murderers. Be careful.
All right. Direct threat there. Someone call HR.
HR puff and stuff.
HR was in the chat. Yeah.
Call HR now. Let them know.
HR puff and stuff.
I feel unsafe in my working environment.
I always see that talking flute every time I think of HR. But anyway.
Is that?
At least he's dressed.
That isn't blurred at all, is it? No, it must just be
Where?
the camera.
Yeah, it looks blurred. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that left panel. The left panel. The
Is that better? It looks
the
sharp
stalagmites
on
or
mine.
stalactites or whatever. They're sharp,
Yeah.
but the thing in the background looks like it's blurred.
Yeah,
No.
and to the
Here, you
right as
mean?
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that bit, and then the panel on the right hand side.
Yeah, the
Of that.
purple bit, the purple blue bit looks
Yeah.
like it's blurred, but the
bottom
above
half.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
How weird.
No.
How bizarre.
Might be the reflection of the page,
Is it sharp at your end?
the light. Yeah, down in here, you mean? This looks
Yeah.
sharp to
Yeah.
me, yeah.
I wonder
It
if
looks
the
sharp on
camera
my
is doing
camera.
it. I wonder if the artwork is so good that the camera is actually doing it.
I don't know.
Amazing.
No, my fingers look sharp, so
Need to cut your nails.
yeah, thanks. I'm not into that kind of stuff. I just bite them. Never imagined I'd end up being a hand model anyway.
Oh, look at them big rats.
It is the Psycho Rats, right? It's the name of the chapter. That's one big rat right there.
A rat, a filthy, stinking rat.
Holy shit.
Come on, you dirty rats. Incal.
Oh, the Incal. It's like the oogle bird from Bullwinkle. Oogle.
That's a bit cartoony, isn't it? This double spread.
Yeah.
It's a bit silly, isn't it?
So, this is there another voice in his head? Is he two people?
You can call on the mystical Incal.
Because at that bottom, it's talking to him. It says, "No, John,
It
we
is.
don't stand a chance," but it's coming from his head.
Unless there's
Weird.
something traveling with him.
Yeah.
No, I'm not seeing it if there is. There is a little something there, though.
Hmm.
That's might be the bird. I don't know. Incal. See what happens.
Ooh, them rats.
Surrounded by even larger rats.
Oh, but here we have a topless woman riding a massive rat.
There we are. Because, why not?
Why not?
With blue ears.
Mm-hmm.
The rats have
Well, she's
blue
got long
ears.
hair. How do you know that?
There you
No,
go.
the rats have got blue ears. Didn't Elton John write a song about that blue ears or something?
Elton bloody John.
He's great. Isn't he says he doesn't play his piano at home. Right. Okay.
Elton, he's losing his eyesight.
I reckon that's a euphemism.
So he probably doesn't play his piano at home. But by now, all of that stuff should be muscle memory. So
I was going to say he's been playing it for 70 years. I wouldn't imagine he can play just about anything with his eyes
Yeah.
closed.
yeah, probably
He's great, Elton. I love him.
one of the best.
Not sure past 1976, but before that, it's really good stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Captain
Not
Fantastic and
okay.
Goodbye Yellow
Yeah.
Brick Road was really the pinnacle of both him and
If you want to
stuff. Yeah, in my
listen
opinion.
to the definitive Elton John album, it's Madman Across the Water.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Listen to that.
Yeah, I actually think after the 70s, I'm not keen, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That's got Mona Lisa and Mad Hatters in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's
Madman.
on Honky Chateau. That song.
Okay.
That's the album
Monkey
after.
shutter.
love
Yeah,
that.
that's the
I
album
love
after.
that song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good.
I've shuttered myself.
There's a fantastic song called Tonight off Blue Moves with an amazing orchestral bit about 6 minutes long by Paul Buckmaster. You've got it. It's on YouTube. Tonight it's called. It's absolutely wonderful. It doesn't start singing till about 4 minutes in.
Oh,
Okay.
But if you listen to the early stuff with the orchestration by Paul Buckmaster, listen to 60 Years On. Oh, it just, but you've got to turn the volume up because it's like the 40-piece orchestra on it. It's absolutely amazing.
Cool. Yeah. She suddenly got blue hair.
She could get a job on the moon in UFO, couldn't she?
Yeah.
Wow. I like the way her hair matches the rat's ears, the colour of it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's probably on purpose.
Yeah. Doesn't she look great, though, with that blue hair? She looks fantastic, doesn't she? She's gorgeous.
Just a great drawing right there.
Yeah.
Really pretty. Love it.
Where's Arzak? Is he there?
He's in
Oh, he's there. Oh, he's thinking. Holy concrete. I didn't know he could think.
Yeah, he talks to him all the time. Gotta think. You can't escape me now.
That drawing of that girl is just beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
Just the drawing of it, never mind the colouring.
Yep.
Hmm.
I like the way she breaks out of the panel as well.
Looks almost animated, doesn't it? It's very simple.
Yeah,
Very much. Yep.
beautiful.
Sign of a master at work. You know.
Yep. And then that red thing appears. Garbage dump.
Do the dump.
Flying leeches. Whoa. That bottom panel there on the first page just shows you how you can use colour for effect, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Sure does. Beautifully done. Reminds you of like an inner earth kind of thing. It's all
Yeah.
like a ring world almost type situation.
Has she lost her blue hair now? Or that's somebody else?
I think that was the shading inside.
Oh, they should have kept it.
Made her hair look blue. She was blonde. When she first comes in, she's blonde, just in that particular. It might be a signal of her talking to the rats too. So
Right. Like Captain Scarlet with his epaulets. When he talks to people, they flash the colour of the person he's talking to. Just so well drawn, isn't it?
yeah.
Look at that.
And here we're getting into a really pretty stage too.
Yeah.
Fantastic line work. Look at that. Just great. Anima. A great
Wow.
perspective shot. Not easy to do from the feet up. And have it look right. Have them look like they're actually laying on the ground.
Yeah.
It's not an easy position to be. It's great stuff. And white, I feel an energy block here in her neck. It's broken. Let's combine our Incal powers again. It can't leave her like this. I'll drain the pain from her. Paralysis on the right. You fill her with your own regenerating energies from the left. Covering a lot of story here, a lot of panels.
Yeah. Wow.
Hands.
The Transformer appears.
Yeah. I'd say it looks more like the Iron Giant to me. But
Wow.
probe.
Look at that. Look at that on that second page, on the panel where he's coming out, that little spaceship thing, whatever it is. And he says, Sun Moon, where are you? And she says, here, father. And the panels, the balloon sizes are the wrong way around, aren't they? You know what I mean?
They had to squish some lettering in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little bit of hand work there, handy hand work to squeeze everything in. And then boom, a lot of space there. Difference in the translation. Is that this was about the same time as Empire Strikes Back? I wonder if they got the guy from Cloud City is bald with a bit of mechanics all the way around, like a crown running from ear to ear along the back of the head. I wonder if they pulled that from this.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. As it Empire was 1980, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say that this is 80. Mind you, this could be the, what was it you said, late 82, wasn't it? 82 to
Early
88.
80s.
So yeah, so he must have, that's Star Wars got that one first.
A bit of an influence. Instead, he's just doing an ear here instead of wrapping it all the way around.
Yeah.
It doesn't look very Moebius, does it?
No, it's changed.
Look at those characters.
Yeah.
It's got the feel of somebody else about it. More the guy, and then on the previous page as well, where he's shouting.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know.
Here?
No, the one
on the left where he's shouting right in the middle of the page.
Yeah.
Anima.
If you
That's
look
got
on
a lot of Dave Gibbons in it there.
Yeah.
If you look on the next page, so the last panel that you just said about with the earpiece on the next page.
Here.
Next 2 pages.
Overleaf. The last panel.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, it can't be because the guy's already dead, but I can see Bill Everett Submariner in that last head.
Oh
God,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Very much.
It's just bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially in the eyebrow there, the little curl up.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the long face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very strange. I think he's got different hands. I think he's got studio working on this, you know.
I think he has got other people working in this.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Ah, look at that
Attack. Again, it's too brown again. It's too muddy.
Yeah.
What are they? The Goombas? What are they, eh?
Orcs.
Rubbish monsters.
Damn,
Pretty much.
Witch.
Look a little froggish.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Modoc's brother.
Yeah.
It's Modoc's brother pretending to be the 7 samurai. All of them.
Matt says middle panel left page. He could be saying, don't tell him I filled the rats with TNT. Said in a Columbo voice. The last page over. Yeah. It's psycho rats and little nebbishes. Almost like the mole men from Mole Man, the Fantastic Four. Just need bigger eyes.
Yeah. The lettering's suffering a bit, isn't it? Seems a bit rushed.
Very hand done. Yeah.
It's all right, but it's not as good as previously.
No. Probably had a different letterer. Like here too, we're pressing that side
Yeah.
of the pan, that balloon. Just that one, because he could have split that up.
Yeah.
The 2 lines if he had to. He had enough space.
I wonder if it's been pasted in, you know.
He kind of presses the exclamation point as close to that
Yeah.
balloon that shrunk that whole thing in.
I think that it's been done separately and just pasted in by production.
Yeah.
And they've literally just pasted it in. They've not looked at it.
That's not centered at all here. It's got all this extra space except for on top. Same thing here. It's not centered. Might have been done on an overlay.
Yeah.
It just didn't line up 100% here towards the bottom. You don't know. They're all trying to put the shit
Overlays, eh?
Yeah, remember those?
I just, you know what? I just love the way artwork. Looking back now, after being heavily involved in digital processes,
Mhm.
I look back now and just think how wonderful it was that everything was done on sheets or paper or
I've got some. Yeah,
plastic.
I've still got some
No.
artwork from 1989. I think it was for
Yeah.
Granada Television.
Yeah.
They had you could go down and go on the Coronation Street plot and all that kind of stuff. And I did some work on some T-shirts, and I've done them all the different colours and overlays for T-shirts.
I know. Wow, great.
I'll dig it out and show you. It's really
Yeah.
good. It's really
Back when you
great.
used to have to separate the colours yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Was it a solid color or were there process colors where you had to deal with percentages?
No, it was just solid colours for T-shirts.
There you
In
go.
fact, I've got the T-shirt and it's still in the plastic bag that they gave me for working on the job.
I can't tell you how many T-shirt separations I've done.
Yes, I can
Probably
imagine.
at least hundreds. Yeah,
Well,
if not
well,
thousands.
my claim to fame on this job was the fact that I was the first, not the first, but one of the first people who didn't work at Granada because I was freelancing to actually go on to the Granada tour because I'd worked on it. They took me through the tour before it was open to the public, and we went on one of those those video things where you're hanging on and you're going down all the tubes and the chairs rattling about. I don't know what they're called. Motion Master, it's called.
Okay.
Went on that. Fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant.
Did you get a hot pot at the end?
No, listen to this. When I worked on the Coronation Street magazine, we were given the recipe for what's her face's famous
hot pot?
Betty's famous hot pot, and I know what it is, and it's top secret even now.
Betty hot pot. Oh dear. No, I meant, but yeah, just like you were saying about having those sheets, just having those physical pieces of art,
Yeah.
or process, pieces, whatever it might be. It's just there was something. What you didn't realize at the time is obviously progress happens, but you didn't realize at the time just how magical it was.
Yeah,
because you really felt like you were making something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I mean, at the moment, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm thinking, how do I store my artwork? Because I've gone back to inking physically, and I've got a whole bunch of pages. I've got so much stuff now,
You put it in
and
the
of course,
loft.
it's only going to get more.
You wrap it up nicely in plastic, get it sealed and dry, and you put it in the loft. That's where
Leave it for my kids when I die.
Yeah.
They can work it out.
I've got stuff from the 70s.
But it's just so nice to have it. Do you know what I mean? It's just I just love. You really feel like you're making something.
Yeah, very true. Yep,
it's real.
Yeah.
I have a whole box for Tales from the Aniverse that I'm going through now for the collection, and I mean, we're talking a large box, a T-shirt box of old drawings and original art and just craziness.
It's
but
fantastic.
You need to
40
consider.
years
selling that.
later, you know.
Yeah.
Pardon?
You need to consider selling that stuff,
Yeah.
making money on it while we're all here. That's
Yeah.
I want to put an
know?
omnibus of all that stuff together
Well,
because
this is what
got a
I've
lot
said
of
to
fan
Helen.
art and stuff.
This is what I've said
That's
to
fantastic.
Helen about my work. I want to sell it because I want to enjoy it. Because when I'm dead, either
Yeah.
somebody will sell it or they'll throw it in the
Yeah.
bin.
exactly. Yeah, one or the other.
Too true.
Either
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And like yesterday on Nerd Bacon, we're going over those Heritage auction figures. It's like crazy. Just
Yeah.
insane. For original arts climbed so much the last few years. It's ridiculous. That's because
As long as
it
it's
becomes
got
more and more
some,
scarce.
yeah. As long as it's
Some-
got something
Some
to
key
it.
part to it.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say this quickly because it still hurts. I had some stuff and I got rid of it, and I'm dreading seeing it now. What it
Yeah.
might be getting.
Me too.
Tens of thousands of pounds worth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of it will be. I know it. I know for sure. But there
Look at
you go.
this. Beauty and simplicity here. Very wide
That's-
open spaces.
It's odd, isn't it? It's not Mobius, is it? I think he's doing layouts. I mean, look at the second page, the first panel where they're walking down the corridor. I don't get Mobius vibes from that.
Here? No,
Yeah,
not at all.
it's
In
all
fact,
right.
that's
It's
compared
not
to the rest of the work, that's a pretty sloppy panel.
Yeah,
It's beautiful though.
Yeah.
Again, I just
Oh,
love
yeah.
the openness of this, especially after seeing what we've already gone through.
Mm.
what are all the bits floating on? Are they on? Is it on the wall?
Which bits?
Yeah, on the bottom panel there. There's all these bits. Are they on the? What is it? Just marks on the wall.
Specs. Yeah, it's specs.
And then on the other page, on the top right, it's there. It looks like a load of flies flying about.
Yeah, little tiny specks along, just that texture on the wall.
Right.
What that is, there's a little bit of it here too, but very faint. Jellysaurus in the house. Thanks for being here, even though you say you're Mrs. Farts. Okay. Thanks for watching us. Hit that like button, folks. We've got a great crowd this morning, live. Deeply appreciate you. Whenever you watch us, hit that like button, whatever platform you're on. Any type of communication or exchange you have with us just helps our algorithm, even if you hate it, and give us a thumbs down. We do appreciate it. Any type of engagement. Look at that. Our Zach there.
On his back. Wolf head, you stupid mongrel.
It's nice.
Yeah. It's very simple artwork.
Yeah. Yep. Again, here the color is working, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing's muddied, everything's just beautiful on it, nice and bright. Love this coloring. Planet of Gold. I'm gonna get a little spacey here for a minute. Look at that. That took a little bit to do. Yeah. Then we're back to the solid red block here, blocking out all of the great, just a little bit of darker reds here and there, but all of that detail work is fantastic. That just gets washed out by the solid color.
That's a great Mobius design on that top right, isn't it? I can tell Mobius in there with that planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. This too, though.
Simple shape.
This whole page just screams Mobius. Even the large blocks of text.
Yes.
And now for an info dump. Here we go. Nice though. swirls.
Like a poster, isn't it?
Very psychedelic. Oh, here we are. That's not suggestive at all.
Wow.
Silence. Stop this quarreling, or the Emperor Atrix will call the purple Endogard to help restore the dignity of these proceedings. Hate it when that has to happen.
It comes. Is that purple? Looks a bit
I
like a
afraid
phallus to me.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Like I was saying, that's not suggestive at all.
Mm-mm.
Especially at the little added bands of orange here right into the head of the ship. This is Matt Black says wood chip Glen. Haha. This is nice though. Calm down, all of you. Listen to me. Yeah. Silence. Hear the words of Kamar Ramio, that spokesman for the colonial planets.
Just put me on the screen, Randy. I've found that artwork. I've dug it out for you with the overlays just for a second.
There we are.
There's one without the overlay.
Uh-huh.
And then this one, it's got all the, there's the overlay. Can you see that? Can't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I too was a ruby lith and amber lith master in my time.
It's brilliant.
So line it up with registration marks, little periscope.
Yeah, and it's done on the CS2 board.
Okay. Yeah.
PS2 board.
Hello, board.
There's a name from her past.
Look at this. You even get an overlay on your artwork.
That's a dust cover. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. And there's my logo.
Look at that.
Here we go.
CS2 drawing board.
I used to do like marker
right, yeah.
Visuals.
Yeah.
For products or things, scenes, whatever, and used to, so that you'd give them to the design board or whatever, the design production team. Once I became a visualizer rather than before I was in the design production team. And of course you'd mount them up on grey board with a little nice cover on the front and everything, because it would go off to the brief or whatever, it'd go off to show them. They'd be lovely, these boards, and they'd come back and go, yeah, I want that one, the rest of them go in the bin.
Yeah.
It's like nobody cared.
Just all throwaway stuff.
They have a lump. This is all that's left. Sun destroyed by a shadow egg.
Oh, that looks like a Christmas pudding.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
From here.
Reminds me of a tribble, but anyway.
Yeah, a little.
This carbon lump represents the death of an entire planetary system, where before there were two thriving worlds. What is that? Terriola?
Yeah.
It looks like, and Cherise. Now there's only two lifeless husks orbiting around a dark usurper, the shadow egg. Eek.
That guy at the end, the very end there with with the white hair. The fat guy looks like Digby out of Dan Dare.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of does.
Digby, are you eating again?
Traitor.
I think Moebius is back on layouts again. He's not doing this art, is he? Well, he probably is, but it doesn't look like his stuff.
Or again, he's doing it quick in order to hit that
Yeah,
deadline.
could be.
Still, you love the wide open spaces here, knowing what to ink, because he could sit there and put little line work all over on this stuff. He has made the physical choice not to let the color do the work and sit there and just make it pop. A lot of this stuff reminds me of Peter Max from that same time period. It's use of solid colors and as little detail as possible. It'll put a little bit thicker line around that profile, make it pop a little more. But that's me.
Yes. Death to the technos.
This kind of looks like a fisheye lens warp.
Yeah.
This panel does. Sees this, the Bursars out with the Iman. Death to the technos. This must be the technos. Oh, pulling out the guns.
Tom.
Get that shooting at the egg.
The rotten egg's broken at last.
Floop. The Emperor Tick's been hit. Woe and shame. They've killed his mega holiness. These things, finally. Oh. About time. Oh. As all of our characters arrive. Meanwhile, thousands of light years away. Classic.
Wow.
Oh, it's the start of a new chapter. Shall we call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting on. Yeah.
Yeah, let's call it.
That red guy there reminds me of that one of those robots on the black hole.
Black hole. Yeah. Max.
Yep.
Max. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
But the line work here, especially on that robot, reminds, and the just that whole page reminds me of Jeff Darrow.
Right.
You know who that is? The guy who was working with did some stuff. I think it's Jeff Darrow. Did a bunch of work for Dark Horse with a little robot and a little boy robot. That was same line.
I'm a real boy.
Kind of.
That's it's very simple, isn't it? Very simple line work.
Yeah.
Still a lot of work though. It's some texture back here. There's some intentional, beautifully done shading. Just enough.
Just enough,
to give it a look, a feel of roundness to it. There.
Just enough to show you he's a genius.
Exactly. There you go. All right, that's it for this this episode, folks. We're looking at the Incal. We'll pick this up where we left off next week. Incal 2.
Incal 2.
Jodowosky and Moebus. Great stuff.
The Incal Pinkle.
Pinkle. Appreciate you, everybody, stopping by today. Glad you came by. Our numbers are real strong, and we deeply appreciate you watching us live. And even if you watch us after the fact, we welcome you and thank you for doing that as well. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you can on whatever platform you're on. Leave us a comment. If there's any work that you want us to go over in the future, we'd be more than happy to consider it. Absolutely. We've done a lot of work like this. We love doing this, looking at the best of the best in sequential art. They're here every Friday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern time. We do also do it again on Sundays, Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m. Eastern time. This Sunday, we're going to be looking at Night Music 1. This is a little battered copy here, but all of the artwork is still real good inside. P. Craig Russell, some fantastic work. We'll go over this on Sunday, Night Music 1. And then next Friday, we'll pick back up with Incal where we left off. So,
introduction by Steranko, eh?
Yep. Nice introduction, too.
Was this the one that you rescued after the solar flare?
Yeah. Yeah, the last rescued it out of a house fire.
Yeah.
I got a copy of Moebus and Stan Lee's Silver Surfer graphic novel, too. That's a little singed like this. If I find it, we'll definitely look at that as well. But I ran across this and figured that we had to look at it because we looked at that Elric material, and this is very different from that material.
Is the surfer thing you mentioned, was that in one volume? Because I think I got it was it in 2 parts originally?
I think it was serialized in Epic Illustrated originally.
Yeah, was it two or 4 parts? Was it all collected into one book?
Yeah, it was all one story. It was all in one book. Nice hardback, little almost comic book size, maybe a little smaller.
Right.
I have the artisan version of that Silver Surfer. So we should show that one day, because it is lovely.
We'll look at that instead. Yeah,
it is lovely.
Is that full size artwork?
No, it's the artisan one, so it's not like the actual art size. It's not the artist's edition; it's the artisan edition. Right. So, but it's
about that size.
It's about magazine size, yeah. Right. But you still get a good look at the black and white artwork, though. It's really nice.
Yeah, that would be fantastic to look at. Absolutely. Folks, again, thanks so much for stopping by. Really appreciate you being here. Russ, can you tell folks where they can find you?
Yeah. Oh, that's more than a question. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, I can tell you where you can find me. You can find me right here on Fridays and Sundays, of course. But you can also find me at russleach.com. Sign up for the email list there so you can find out all about the Atlantean. The crowdfunder's on its way in March. The artwork is being done at pace. The story's great. It's a bit more hack and slash in this one. It's lots of action. It's really good fun. So check that out.
Tried to capture a pulp novel type feel to it. So,
yeah, you did. It's really cool. There's loads of great fun in it. It's wonderful stuff to draw from. Hopefully everybody will be pleased with the visuals. So you want to find out more about that? You want to find out where you can go get a book right now? You can just go to russleach.com, sign up for that email list, and I'll let you know everything about what you need. Once a month on a newsletter, occasionally a few times more when we're in crowdfunding. But other than that, I won't fill your inbox up with rubbish. So go sign up for that email list at russleach.com.
All right. Fantastic. Glenn, please tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find my 12 books on Amazon. You can find me at New Haven Press. You can find me in Barnes & Noble, all the places. You can also find me here on Fridays and Sundays with these 2 maniacs, or mass murderers, should I say. And just about anywhere, just put my name in Google and something will come up. But whatever you do, don't believe all you read.
I'm a professional at killing time myself.
Yeah. You can find me on Fun My Comic as well.
Yep. Yeah, and Fun My Comic. When you're over at Amazon, though, take a look for Comics Unlimited and Crikey over there as well.
Lots of things on there.
What, 14, 15 Comics Unlimited. They're all great. Every last issue.
And there's 16 issues of Crikey and a special. There's a Jack Kirby variations on a theme. Lots of stuff. Just go and have a look. Seek and ye shall find.
There we are. And folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. Really glad that you were able to stop by. We are archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim, ZIMM YouTube channel, and the Indie Comics Network. So if you get around to all of them or some of them or all of them, make sure you subscribe to those pages and you hit the like or dislike. If you hate us, it's up to you. So we are here 2 times a week. We love doing this stuff. We've looked through a lot of great material, and we're going to be looking through a lot more. We don't get paid for this. We're not monetized at all, but we just love watching or love showing this stuff off, being inspired by it, talking about techniques around these great illustrators that we look at and their work. So we hope that you enjoy it as well and take a look at some of our other archive shows. And again, I know the majority of our viewers are after the fact, especially here on this side of the world. And we deeply appreciate you anytime that you listen to us. Make sure you leave, like I said, that like or love indicator wherever you're watching us from. We deeply appreciate it. Other than that, we'll see you next time. We'll be back Sunday morning looking through P. Craig Russell's Night Music 1. Fantastic stuff. On the Sunday after, I can't wait. I got a great book for this Sunday after that I hope everybody will enjoy. One of my favorite series. So I thought the book, we wouldn't be able to show the book because it was badly printed, but I went through and looked at it again and it's like, oh, this will work. It'll be all right. So we'll go through and look at that. Matt Black in the house. Thank you so much. Says the robot looks a lot like Iron Man. Yeah.
They all do.
He's waving. Yeah. Iron Man's so iconic anyway. Folks, again, take care. Go visit your local retailer, especially right now, especially with everything going on. That retailer is going to be struggling just to make his bills. So now's the time. You want to buy some stuff, a great back issue retailer, go over there and visit them, make them an offer, and it might be an offer they can't refuse. So at this point, it's going to be a fight for the next couple of months because of everything happening with the distributors for these retailers to be able to survive. So if you like your local retailer, you don't have to like the modern comics. That's okay. You don't have to. We don't. A lot of them. The real cutting edge comics are in the independent and alternative market. So
yeah.
Go over, but if you enjoy your local retailer and you think he's necessary for your area, go over there and patronize him. Now is the time. Go over there and show these people that you care. So, in fact, I've got a large collection of books at my local retailer I have to go get here pretty quick. I haven't seen him in a couple months, so got to catch up on my Conans. There we are. Again, folks, thank you so much. Deeply appreciate you being here. Fundmycomic.com. Take a look at Hatch Annotated. Watch for in March, the Atlantean 2 will be popping up there as well. And if you've missed out on the other Atlantean and the Shadow Kingdom book, fear not, you will have an opportunity to buy those within the campaign as well and get them all at once. So all work that Russ and I are incredibly proud of, and we hope that you pick it up and are entertained as much as we have as much fun with it as we had bringing it to you. So take care, everyone. See you next time. Try to leave this industry in better shape than what you found it, folks. There's too much trolling out there, too much negative drama. Spite marketing works negatively in the long run. You might get a small dopamine fix because you got to tell somebody off, but in the long run, it doesn't help anybody to tear stuff down. You should, if you love comics, tell people you love comics. Don't be afraid to show that affection in a positive light, and see where it takes you. Give comics as gifts. Tell people how much you love this art form, just like we do. Take care, everybody. We will see you next time as soon as he pulls up the proper thing to scroll through. Here we go. All right. Take care, everyone.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
How dare you?
Get off my lawn.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does, why is it doing what it's doing. Get it out of my face.
Joke's on you, bitch. I love this shit.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce.